Welcome to Bee Loft by Liptech. I'm David. This is Jordan. We're here out at the farm apiary. It's May 27th, Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to everyone. It's about 12:45 in the afternoon and 70 degrees, about 21 Celsius. And we're going to check these hives. We have the 4/4s that we're going to try to make into full hives today. See if we have some queen cells from our split we made the other day. And if we do, we'll just cut those queen cells out and put them in the other hives. And we'll see how everything goes. So stay tuned. We'll be back with you in just a few minutes. All right, so we're going to check in this hive real quick. This was one I don't remember seeing a queen in the last time I were here. I wanted to give it a few more days. Apparently they hear me knocking because all of a sudden there's a bunch of bees flying out. So hopefully we have a queen. But I'm trying to get all these bees sorted out today before we do our honey harvest, and in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Make sure the bees are drawing comb. If they're not drawing comb, make sure that we put the right bees in the right hive, right size hive. So it doesn't look like they've done anything up here. We're going to go down a little bit. Doesn't look like they've done much. Separate this out real fast. Got some weight to this. Yeah, they're pulling in. This is full of honey or nectar. We got some cappings over here, but they're filling it up. Got lots of bees down below. And we got some foundations that need to be drawn still here. These 3. Let's go down one more. See if we have any eggs. Or if these bees are just pulling in resources. And if they are, it's just a dwindling hive, which these bees would be good to combine with that other queen from that swarm trap. Yeah, there's no brood. Lots of resources. So yeah, this would be great to put a 5-frame box on top of a nuke with these bees. Check this other one here. Jordan, why don't you hold this for a second? Since we left our frame rest over there. Look for a queen. I don't see it possible, but there's not that many bees here, but there's a good amount of resources. We got a cell. It's elongated, so it's kind of a weird cell here that we got going on. There is something in it, but we did have a queen cell down here that looks like it has emerged. And we had a cell here that got chewed out on the side. So this is interesting. There's not a lot of bees. It's been long enough, we should have brood. Use the sunlight here. I see an egg. Question is it a laying worker at this point? So I think we'll just combine this with that other hive and we'll call that a day. So let's put this back together for the moment, and we'll split these other hives, and then we'll combine this the best we can and get our best frames together and put it with that other queen and see how the bees do in a couple weeks. And this should have the queen in it. If Jordan gets these posted in order, you'll see where I killed the queen in Madison. Tragedy struck. So that was awful. Yeah, we have nothing going on up here. Nothing drawn whatsoever. So let's get down to the bottom here. Makes for quick work. Make sure I don't see the queen. Set this on the side here. Lots of bees in here. There's our brood. I was really expecting to see more bees in here. I could have swore I had the queen on this one. I'm going to have to check back on the video. There's still brood here. I'm drawing that out. We'll just have to go back and check that hive. I could have swore I found the queen. We're going to go check that other hive. If there's no queen in here, maybe we'll do a double combine here. Alright, let's squeeze this back together. Alright, well that was disappointing. I thought I caught the queen on this one. I'm going to have to look back at my previous video from the farm here from the other day and see if I did. We're going to go check that hive in just a second anyways. But they're definitely filling it up, so I'm going to put this on here. That spider. Close this back up. We might come back to this one in a little bit, but for now, we'll move on to some other hives and we'll get back to you shortly. Okay, so this hive has absconded. Two reasons. It had a lot of ants that got inside the hive. And look at all these eggs. And look at all this beetle larvae in here. There's just so much of it. And beetles. So I'm going to have to get this box out of here and onto a deep hive to begin with. So we're going to do the best we can to get those off. And then clean this up, get this into a deep hive, take this spot, and get this bottom board out of here. I'm going to go drown it in the river. We'll get a chance here once we get this off. The ants were digging into the side of this box here, so we're gonna have to freeze these frames because of all the beetle larvae that we just smashed over there. Shook some of it out, and there's just so much larvae in here. This is just a disaster waiting to happen here in the hive. It would have smeared all my comb and everything, so we're going to get this one transferred and we'll get back to you shortly. Alright, so Jordan found the queen in this 4/4 hive. We had 16 frames. I'm going to go ahead and mark her real quick here if I can get these bees out of the way. There we go. We're going to be a lot more careful on this one since I squished the one the other day. We're going to let her dry for a second. And then what we're going to do is we're going to let her go right down into the hive. Let Jordan keep filming that. We're going to get her angled down into the hive. I'm not going to use any tools so I don't squish her. I'm just going to guide her, direct her straight into the hive. I'm not going to touch her. Did she go in? Nope, she's on the other side. We're just going to keep directing her. Did she go in? I think she went down in. I don't see her on the frame anymore. I think I nudged her in without squishing her. So she should be in the hive. You don't see her at all, right, Jordan?
I don't see her.
You had the camera, so we'll review that later. So I think that was a success. Thank goodness. All right, so when I'm out at the Madison Apiary, there's a pond there with catfish and bluegill and whatnot in it, and I like to dump the beetle larvae and these eggs and stuff into it. Here we're at a river. There's fish in here, so they're going to get some nice food. You can see all these beetle larvae. Fish love this. They're going to get a nice meal out of this. I'll take this home, clean it up, maybe make a split at home. But we got to get all these beetles and ants off of here. Otherwise, they really gum up your works. Here we go. And the fish will enjoy that meal. All right, so this hive here, or one on the right of the 4 frames, 16 total, 4 over 4. Looks like it had some queen cells that have emerged and might have requeened itself. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like 8 queen cells. So I'm just going to cut those off real quick. Get rid of those. No reason to have them at the bottom here anymore. And hopefully we find a queen in this hive, because I'm trying to put it into the 10 frame box, but it's got all this fat comb, so might have to take some of that home for extraction. But we'll get back to you in just a minute, see how things are going here. All right, so I put newspaper down. We got our queen down below here. We know she's there. And we're just going to poke some holes in between here. That gives the bees a vent option. And then they can crawl through that. They'll eat through that and crawl down in below. But we're going to go into this hive next door. We did not see a queen in here earlier. And we're just going to combine these 2 hives. So I'm going to see what frames we got here. Make sure we put or these beetle traps in before I leave here. So we have a frame, and that's full of nectar. So we're just going to stick that in here. These other ones have not been drawn, so I'm just going to take those home. Just pop down to the next one. And make sure our newspaper stays in place. I'm going to cut the excess off the edges here in a minute. But I'm just going to get these lined up. And I'm going to take that's full of nectar. Again, I'm just going to make sure. So we didn't see a queen. We didn't see any larvae. So I'm just going to move this frame by frame over the other hive. And we'll just drop them in here. Okay. Then we need 2 more frames. So I'm going to give them this frame right in the middle. Squeeze this together. And then I have a partially drawn frame here with the foundation, the starter strip I had. We'll see if they'll continue to draw that out and put that on the outside. Then I'm just going to go right to the next box, and I'm just going to lift this box and put it right on top. If I can get it off the base here. There we go. And we're just going to put it right on top. That way the bees can work their way down and combine with the other hive. Checking the bottom board here for no beetles. So I don't want to drop beetles in here. There we are. Oh, they didn't come off. That's a little better. Just brush those off. And what I do with my bee brush is use my hand. Now the foragers will come back to this bottom box, and they'll be greeted, and they'll start accepting the new queen. I'll just slide this over here, and then get a little bit of newspaper sticking out on this side. I'm just going to cut that off. A little bit on this side. See if I can cut that off. There we go. Just throw that on the ground for the moment. And this is my lid. I'm just going to put that right up on top here. Now these bees will come in. They have a whole frame of brood that will help them accept it. I'm going to throw a little smoke on them. And we're just going to wrap them up, and then we're going to check this other hive real quick. Maybe throw some larvae in there. See what's going on. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Thanks for watching Bee Loft by Lip Tech with Jordan and David today. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. We'll see you on the next video.